Hello internet, my name is Catherine and welcome to my last video of 2019 and my last video of this decade. I've been on YouTube for 3 years now, which is kind of crazy to think about, but it has been a really fun, wild ride that I am excited to continue. But for today's video, I thought it would be really fun to kind of go through things that have happened to me in this past decade and just recap them all together. Also, if there's any noise in the background, I sincerely apologize because it's me with my 3 stepbrothers, my mom, and my stepdad, so a lot of people. If you also want to take part in this video, comment down below some things that have happened to you in this decade that have been super impactful. For me, I just turned 20 years old, so this past decade has been half of my life, so a lot of things have happened and I just thought it would be interesting, so yeah. In this decade, I got diagnosed with depression and anxiety and have worked extremely hard on treating it. And I can proudly say that I am in the best mental state that I have ever been in. Adding on to that, throughout this decade, I have been in my best mental states and my worst mental states. It's been kind of like a roller coaster. The first few years of this decade, from 2010 to 2013-ish, were extremely rough periods for me, just very rough times. And then it's been kind of like a roller coaster since then, but gradually like increasing. You know? This is the decade that I learned how to drive, so that's like a huge thing when you think about it. You know, I like didn't have this ability to just hop in a car and go drive places, and now it's just one of the most freeing things and something I am so glad that I learned how to do and have my license and can drive. And yeah, I think it's cool that I did that in this decade. I also learned my worth a lot in this decade. I learned that there are certain things that you just can't put up with for your own mental state, for your own health in physical and mental and spiritual ways, and that that's okay. That it doesn't matter if the negativity is coming from a stranger, from a friend, from family, whatever. You have to know what your worth is and how you can handle that. I learned that there are things that I have gone through in my life that I just did not deserve to have happen to me, but they have made me grow as a person, so I'm grateful for them. I am really proud of myself for learning what my worth is throughout this past decade. Also in this decade, I became a teenager, and then I became a legal adult when I turned 18, and then I became not a teenager anymore when I turned 20, which is just so weird because like at the start of this decade, I was 10 years old, I was like a little tween, not even, like still a kid, and then I became like a tween, and then I became 13 years old and I was a teenager, and then just this past year, I, you know, went from 19 to 20, and it's just crazy. Like I'm like a real adult person now. Scary, don't like it. In this decade, I also started middle school, finished middle school, started high school, graduated high school, and started college. What? In this decade, I guess I had my first kiss. That's so crazy. I had my first kiss. I had my first real relationship. I had my first like long-term relationship. I had like super bad breakup. I had a relationship that taught me a lot and a breakup that taught me a lot about myself and about what I need in a relationship and what I don't need in a relationship and things like that. In this decade, I started dating the love of my life, which is crazy. I'm just so blessed to have met who I like think is gonna be my person so young in my life, because I just get to spend so much more time with them through that. And that's something I'm so grateful for. In this decade, I also studied and lived abroad for a month, which is crazy, something I know I always wanted to do, and I was so grateful for this summer program. If you haven't seen my study abroad vlogs, they are on my channel. It was just such an incredible experience to be in a foreign country and to be with like 20 other people and just learning stuff that I'm super passionate about, so. Yeah. In this decade, I changed what I thought I would want to do with my life countless and numerous times, and that is totally okay. In this decade, I became an aunt to 2 young boys. I have 2 nephews and I love them, oh my goodness, so much. And it's like crazy for me to think about how I'm gonna feel when I have a child, because I love these boys so much. I've entered the next decade of my life where I'm probably gonna like get married and have kids and like have a stable job, and like that's weird. Crazy stuff. In this decade, I also started this YouTube channel, which, while I know I have not been very consistent with uploading over this past year, thank you for staying with me and helping me grow. The fact that there are 2,100 people out there that liked my videos enough to subscribe, thank you so much. Literally means the world to me. This has been such a healthy and fun creative outlet for me, and I really appreciate the opportunity to be able to do this. In this decade, I made friends who have become family to me. I have my girls, you know who you are. I love you so much. My roommates, I love them so much. My boyos, you know who you are. I love you so much. Like, it's just, I have really met people that I connect with so well, and they have truly become family to me. In this decade, my parents' divorce got settled. It was like the longest, we were like in the running for the longest divorce in history. No, just kidding, but it felt like that. It went on for years, and in this decade, my parents' divorce was settled. My parents became friends. My mom's engaged to get remarried again. Like, it's just crazy. It's so cool. My family's growing. I've like talked about this, but I'm getting 4 other stepbrothers, which is just like, not 4 other stepbrothers, 4 stepbrothers. I don't already have stepbrothers. I have 3 blood brothers and 4 stepbrothers. Still no sisters. In this decade, I came to terms with my sexuality, which was something that was incredibly difficult for me because I had like moments growing up and I just didn't know you could be bisexual. So I remember thinking like, you know, I don't think I like girls, but I know I like boys, so I have to be straight, you know? And it was just crazy coming to terms with that. That was one of the hardest things I've ever had to do because there's so much internalized biphobia and other things like that. I've experienced so much biphobia from myself, from other people, from family, friends, all of it. Like, and I've just come to the point where I am so happy that I have had the experiences that I've had and that I can come to terms with who I am and love myself and hope that I encourage other people to love themselves for exactly who they are. In this past decade, I have had so much love and support and help. Thinking back to when I was 10 years old and all that I have learned, it's just insane. And I'm just so grateful for all the people who have always been there for me, supported me, even if they didn't understand, even if they had no idea what was going on. It just means the world to me, and I'm so grateful for that. In this past decade, I learned so many new skills and so much more information, which is just so cool to think about. I've grown probably only like an inch or 2 in the past decade though, because I stopped growing in the 7th grade when I turned 12. And in this past decade, I have grown so much as a person. And I am just so thankful for you guys coming along for the ride, for the support, for the love, for all of it. And I can't wait for this next decade to be even better. So thank you so much. Alright guys, that was my video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Comment down below any things that you did in this decade that were good, bad, in between, whatever. I want to hear it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you give it a big thumbs up and subscribe down below. I make new videos every single Saturday and I would love to have you. Hope you guys have a great day and I love you so much. Bye!